We are back with yet another Oxwagon Diaries adventure, and in this episode we are going to continue right where we left off on the previous one. In the last episode we started the day off with a few monkeys shot right at the camp with a 260 Remington before heading out with the FX Impact and Ticket T3 in 22-50 to take out some ground squirrels. It ended up being an awesome morning with both the airgun and the firearms, but with a quick lunch gulped down and the whole afternoon ahead of us, we hit the road again and head to a new spot on the Neighbour's farm to see if we can get some Dassies. We are joined by neighbour Hendrik Vermaak, who lives on this property, and he takes us to a spot that looks perfect for Dassies. It's a slope covered in big rocks that were blasted from the hillside to make space for a canal back in the 60s, and with all the big boulders creating shelter for the Dassies to live in and hide from predators, it looks like an excellent spot. The idea is to shoot a few Dassies as a gift for the farm workers, and man do we get off to a great start with Anton behind the FX Royale. Hey, you got it. With the Royale not having quite the power I'd like for such thick-skinned animals, I switched to the Impact, and this first one gets hit incredibly hard with a 34 grain 2.2 slug at 1000 feet per second. That's 75 foot-pounds of energy. So I think we just stumbled upon the mother lode. We came to the neighboring farm, and one of Anton's friends, who's the farmer over here, he's taken us to a spot that's just blown our minds. Normally for Dassies we have to work hard to get like 3 or 4 in a day, but because there's so many rocks here, I mean this whole area is just rocks. There's Dassies everywhere, and because it's just rocks and there's very little vegetation or place for them to hide, there's nowhere really for them to go. So we've managed to get a few down, and we're just going to keep going. It's getting a bit dark now, so we might come back tomorrow, but man, this is a cool spot and it definitely deserves some more attention. Many of you outside Africa won't have any clue what a Dassie is. So, short introduction, Dassies are small mammals that live in rocky structures. They're actually closely related to elephants, and you can see signs of this by looking at their dental structure, their nose and their feet. They have quite a complex language system and are not stupid animals. They're actually extremely difficult to hunt, but these ones probably haven't been under much threat, with these rocks making it difficult for any predator to come close unnoticed. It is very difficult to spot them, but once everything's lined up, the Impact makes things very easy. It takes a trained eye to spot them sometimes because they are pretty much exactly the same color as these rocks, but thankfully there's 3 of us, and when working together as a team we can get on them pretty quickly and make the shot count. This was pretty funny. This is one of the chunkiest Dassies I've ever seen. He does a little slide down the rocks before I manage to get set up on him, and does one more little slide down the rocks after I've put a slug through his head. This one was pretty steep, so my guess is that the miss here was due to the incline angle not being accounted for. This slug passes right over his head.
Nice.
And here's a good old 3 in a row.
Okay, bottom. Matt, there's one on
Okay,
the
there's
point.
one in there. I'm going to go for him as well.
Okay, there he comes out.
It's going to come out.
Matt, there's one on the point. You see him on this point here.
It's going to take a second shot at... There you go.
There's one on the point here. You see me sitting on a point.
Yeah, the rock in front of us, yeah.
On the rock in front of us. Do you see him?
Nope, but I'll find him.
He's sitting on a point.
Oh yeah, I see him. I see him now. The lighting was really bad at this time of the day with the whole hillside being in the shade. The Nexus is actually brilliant in low light with a total light transmission of over 93%, which rivals most top German optics, but with the scope cam only reflecting 50% of the light into the camera and the small sensor and fast shutter speed of the GoPro, the footage doesn't really do the scope justice. Regardless, I think the footage came out pretty good. With a good number of Dassies down, we decide to call it quits for the day and move on to something else. But first, the retrieval. Everything looks the same from up there, so it helps for someone to stay behind and point out where the Dassies were shot. Even so, there are some that fall deep between the rocks and can't be retrieved, but that's okay, we've got plenty for the workers.
Right, so this all just happened very quickly. The plan was always to come out onto Hendrik's farm, which is basically neighboring Anton's farm, and to shoot a few geese and stuff, but on the way past here we saw this cliff full of Dassies and we thought, okay, we have to stop and just see what's here. And they were everywhere. I guess it's partly because just the habitat is perfect for them, but also there's great greenery here for them to eat from, a bit of everything. It's just a perfect Dassie paradise, and we managed to get, I think, 7 within the space of probably half an hour, 45 minutes. Yeah, all of us managed to take a few shots, so it was great. We used my Impact, we used my old FX Royale, which I haven't used in a long time, but nice to get it down. And just want to say thanks to these guys who have been fantastic hosts and have brought me out of a lockdown misery and allowed me to come out to this beautiful part of the country and do what I love. So thank you so much, guys. It's been fun and we've still got more to do, so we might come back here tomorrow, I'm not sure, but we're gonna go right now and see if we can find a few geese before it starts to get dark. Let's do it.
Hendrik's farm is absolutely beautiful, but it offers more than just beauty. There's plenty to shoot as well. They grow all kinds of things here, mostly potatoes and corn, but these crops attract a lot of unwanted animals that dig up the seeds and destroy the crops, so we head out into the fields to see what we can find. At this time of the afternoon, there are all kinds of animals that make their way out of the cornfields and start moving back into the bush, and we soon spot our first takers out at about 330 yards. So we've got some Guinea Fowl there, about 300 meters. Let's see what we can do. Trying to decide which one to go for.
Try and get a double.
One on the far left, I think. That sounded pretty solid.
Yep.
I don't know if I got him or not, but it sounded like it for sure. One on the far right. There. Yep. Got him.
They're a bit further now, hey?
Okay.
There more come out. Shoot those that came out.
Got him.
Yes, it's more.
They're all running now.
Just come to the front.
Well, I got 3 of them there for sure, so I'm really happy with that. From 300 meters, it was a bit of a breeze. I actually did hold a little bit for the wind, but super happy with that. The first shot was a solid hit, and the rest sort of take flight, but Guinea Fowl aren't the best flyers, and soon they're back on the ground. Number 2 was nicked high in the body, but it was more than enough to put him down. And number 3 was probably the most solid shot of them all. Upon looking at the scope cam footage, I think number 4 was a little further than expected, and the shot lands just low. You can just see the puff of dust in front of him there. Well, there you go. 3 Guinea Fowl down out of 4 shots. I'll take that any day from that distance. You can see how close they were. Here's the first one here. And here's the other two right here. So they didn't get to run far. Probably not the smartest birds, but they're pretty cool. They're called helmeted Guinea fowl, as you can see here by their heads. Very interesting animals. They've got basically like a horn on their heads. Very hard material. It's like, that's what they call helmeted Guinea fowl, I guess. And then these little things at the bottom here. But very cool birds. So all the birds get loaded up. This is not just pest control. These birds make good eating as well. And we move on. Just a little further up the field, we spot a few stragglers, and Hendrik is onto them quickly with the 22-250.
That's right.
Yeah. Got it.
Lovely.
Nice.
Demolished it.
So it's been an insane afternoon so far, but we aren't quite done yet. Hendrik has one more spot to show us that he says is overrun with monkeys, and I like the sound of that. So let's back to the truck and off to the next spot. Golden hour sure is beautiful out here. This is such a typical Eastern Cape scene with the aloes and the acacia trees, and Hendrik takes us to a brand new field that has recently been converted from bushland right up against the hills. The monkeys obviously come down the hills and raid the field, so we set up on the edge of one of the fields in a prone position and wait. And sure enough, as soon as he gets from behind that branch, Anton, make a monkey sound. There you go. Well, just got 4 monkeys there, 3 in very quick succession and a 4th a while later when it poked its head up. But yeah, awesome setup here. Got my 22-250 down here, shooting down there. Is there another one there? Another couple monkeys show up on the fence, and it's straight back to work. Okay. I just don't want to damage the electric fence behind. Oh wait, it's not an electric fence. So another 2 monkeys down there just running along the fence. I had to quickly reload my magazine because I'm going through my ammo very quickly. This was full just a few days ago, and I've been chucking out brass like it's nothing. But yeah, so I've got the first 4 far, probably about between 200 and 220, 230 meters, and then these other 2 a little bit closer, maybe 160, 170. But 22-250 makes it easy because I can just dial like 2 clicks to 200 meters. It's super easy. And then I've turned the magnification on the scope down to like 12 times, which basically means that the depth of field is wider, which means I don't have to change parallax between each shot, which helps a lot as well. So super happy with that. It's been such a great day. I don't even know what to say. Here are some of the shots in slow motion. I really love the scope cam at 240 frames per second because anything less would just be too slow to follow such a fast moving bullet. It's a great combo with the 22-250 hardly recoiling at all, and these clips come out great. I'm telling you guys, there is nothing in this world more satisfying than blitzing monkeys off of fence poles. I decided to give Anton a turn behind the rifle. We still had some ammo left and probably 20 minutes of light, and he takes some time to reload the magazine. Unfortunately though, nothing else shows up,
Was
and with the light disappearing fast, we decide to call it a day and save the ammo for the next morning.
So there's the last two that we shot, and then I think this was the first one over here, and then numbers 2, 3 and 4 were all over there on the fence or in the tree. So number 4 we're definitely not going to get, but number 2 and 3 we might get, depending on whether we can get Anton to climb over the fence or not. Our excuse is that we're too heavy, so Anton has to do it. He's the only one.
The new part.
This one's huge.
It's got big nuts as well.
Come on the tree.
No, there's a cliff down here.
Okay, then don't worry about it.
Oh, there he lies in the tree.
Oh yeah, you can see him lying in the tree there.
Aha.
Well, that ended up being one of the best days of like small game hunting and varminting that I've ever had in my life, and it's all thanks to these two over here. Obviously without the farms that need the pest control done, without the property, without the expertise of the guys who live here to show you around, you just can't do this. Without these guys I'd be stuck at home, so it's all thanks to them. But what an awesome day. We started off with the Dassies. It kind of just happened. We drove past, we saw some Dassies. I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to put that in a separate video or not, but this morning we shot the Dassies, and after that we went out looking for geese and ended up finding some Guinea Fowl, which are actually game birds that are very sought after for their meat as well. I'm not sure if there'll be too much meat left after the 22-250's got them, but they're going to go straight to the farm workers along with the Dassies, and they're going to be much appreciated, especially this country is going through a very difficult time right now. Obviously the whole world is basically suffering from the coronavirus, but countries in Africa that have poor economies, we suffer particularly badly. So to be able to give food to people in a time like this is awesome. And then to finish off with the monkeys, I think we shot 6. We got 5 and the one is just too high up in the tree for us to get. It'd be a bit too dangerous to send Anton over the cliff there, but yeah, 6 monkeys to finish off the day, all very quickly with the 22-250. And I couldn't be happy because we got to take some shots with the air rifle and with the centerfire. We got to use the high-end Element Nexus and the, say, low-end Element Helix, and both of them worked perfectly. We had to dial on both of them. We had to do scope cam stuff on both of them, and it just ended up to be a fantastic day. So that's where we're going to wrap it up. The sun's about to go down. I'm going to bid these two guys farewell, and I'm going to head back to the camp and start the fire up.
With a gorgeous and eventful day drawing to a close, I bid farewell to Hendrik's farm, drop Anton off at home, and head back to the Oxwagon camp with the sun setting in front of me.
You know what? I realized something today. I said this morning that these Oxwagon Diaries episodes are going to be different because I'm by myself. I haven't brought a friend with. But I had one of the most social days ever today with Anton and the farmer next door. And I guess the moral of the story is that I made new friends. And even when I thought I was alone or had that mindset of, I'm going to do some solo hunting today, it didn't work out like that. It turned out to be very different. In fact, I've made a new friend, which is great. So, that's one thing that I want to take away from today. I don't want this to just be an episode about blasting stuff. I want it to actually mean something. And that's what I learned today. Don't stay in your comfort zone. Go outside of your comfort zone. Do something new. Do something different. I'm not going to bore you with all the cooking again. I actually just want to be alone now, not look at a camera again. I want to just enjoy my dinner. So that's where I bid you farewell. Watch the next one. It's going to be good. And I'll see you then. Goodbye. If you'd like to see extra content like extended episodes, old uploads that YouTube took down, or early releases of upcoming content, head over to airgun101.com. You'll be able to find many other airgun content creators on the site and a safe place where we can build a community and help each other out. It's a real practical way of supporting content creators like myself without paying a cent, as the sponsors of the website help contribute towards the running costs of my channel. Alternatively, you can find me on other social media platforms, on my vlog channel, and on Patreon. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you on the next one.